Hello, hello, it's us again. Okay, I am Sarah RHODEN and I'm joined today with Jana Green, International Success Coach, award winning. Don't forget that.
Oh, thank you. She didn't forget. Awesome.
And I am I am a health coach extraordinaire and functional medicine practitioner. So today is all about, as I have my top, self love and self care, and discussing ways in which we can implement this and the difference between those two things. Because I think that there's a distinct difference between self love and self care, and that's what we're going
Absolutely.
to talk about today, right, Jana?
Absolutely. So, as I was saying in the previous video, which I'm sure you'll be tempted to watch as well,
Yes, it's right here.
self-love, there is not one single human being, by the laws of physics, there's not one single human being on this planet who succeeded and didn't love themselves. There's a huge correlation. You cannot succeed if you don't love yourself. Quantum physics, neuroscience, all proven. Yeah. So the more you love yourself, the more you will succeed, the bigger your success in money, finance, relationships, anything, career. Um, the more you love yourself, the bigger your success. Let
Now,
that
why
sink
why do you think that we, as a
in.
as a as a human race, why do we struggle with this self-love aspect?
Oh, because it's beaten out of us ever since we opened our eyes in this world. It's beaten out of us. Not maybe intentionally by our parents, but all these comments. Even so, imagine you're a child between 5 and 7,
Right.
and because you don't comprehend the world, you don't know how it ticks. You're just observing, which basically you're hypnotized the whole time. You live in hypnosis. And you're just a sponge. You're observing. Why is mommy crying? Oh, because she's not happy with daddy. So that's how women react. Okay, written down. It's there. I understand now. Women cry when they're unhappy with men.
Right, right, right.
And you're
I,
and
I,
you're trying. It's their tactic. So I'm a girl. I have to remember when I cry, I get what I want. Like, you're just observing. You don't understand. You're observing, and you're making your own because no one explains it to you. Your mom, when she's crying, she doesn't say, "And now I'm crying because daddy did this, and it hurts me." So no one says anything to you. There's no school when you're,
right, right.
toddler until 7. So you're trying to make your own conclusions. And your parents are also telling you, projecting their own stuff, their own ideas and beliefs, which are very 95% not correct. They're projecting it on you. And then they also say, "Oh my God, you're a bit chubby, aren't you?" And you're like, "But I'm a child." "Yeah, but you're a bit chubby, aren't you? You have a bit of a tummy." "Yeah, but I'm a child." Oh, you don't have very thick hair, do you? "Maybe it'll grow when you get." Like, what? So basically you're my mom and you're telling me I'm ugly. "Oh, darling, you shouldn't sing. You don't have a good singing voice." So I'm fat, ugly,
Oh, good.
and I shouldn't use my voice. So I should be really quiet. What's next? We make these comments and the child doesn't understand it. That's your stuff. Don't put it on me. No one taught the child not to react to that. The child takes it as a fact, and the child has to take it as a fact because the child is dependent on the parents. The child's life and well-being depends on their parents, so they say, okay, my mommy must love me somehow, so I have to be nice to mommy because she feeds me and she puts roof over my head.
Right.
And then, so the child has to put up with that abuse. "You're
Mm.
fat, you're ugly, you shouldn't sing, you're not good at math, are you? You're a bit slow, aren't you?" It's like, imagine someone having IQ 180 and you tell teacher tells your parents you have surreal um, musical talent, and the parents, because they don't want a piano in their house, say, "Yeah, but you're incredibly smart, but you're doing things too slowly. Maybe focus on that instead of the piano." Like, what? Are you crazy? Are you actually crazy? And that goes with the child because the child doesn't know how to say that's not true. The child accepts things because my parents, who are gods to me, told me so. So
Yeah.
it's kicked out of us every minute of our lives. And then we get to the times when, we have to deal with our peers, and they're not necessarily kind, and there may be a bit of bullying. And if you don't like yourself, you're going to be the target of the bullying, or you're going to have to be self-confident. And then when you're not self-confident and popular, the girls don't want you, etc., etc., etc. It's a snowball.
Right. And then I think that society wise, that what happens then is we don't love ourselves, and then we think about self-care, because that's what we're talking about today, those two things. And
Yes.
then we think, okay, well, I'm going to go and have my nails done, I'm going to go and have my hair done, or I'm going to buy this because this makes me look good or feel good or whatever. And actually not, it's almost like superficial surface stuff, but we're still not actually truly happy with who we are. We still, and we really don't have that true self love for ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and it's proven that women, when they're not happy, look at Princess Diana. When she was not happy, she ran 40 grand telephone bills.
Right. Can
So,
you imagine how many
so
phone
imagine
calls?
someone has a royal crown. She's tall, thin, beautiful. The woman who's Marilyn Monroe and her are the most famous, most photographed women in the world,
Hmm.
and she still didn't love herself.
Yeah.
And she was looking for other people to give her that self-love. You cannot do that. You need to develop that self-love in yourself. It's
Yeah.
not that, oh, I find a man and he will love me and then I will feel good about myself. No, that man will recognize it, that you don't love yourself, and will treat you accordingly, which is really badly.
Although I do have some of my clients who don't have self love, but their husbands are constantly giving them that, and that they're very, I mean, are very lucky that they have that, where the husband is constantly telling them how beautiful they are and how wonderful they are, but it doesn't matter, they don't see it. I say it doesn't matter, but
Yeah,
they still they s-
it will not make them happy because they don't supply that to themselves. You need
right.
to have it in you first in order to manifest it from outside. Not that you manifest from outside and then you'll feel better. So
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest secret. Careful.
Da,
I
da,
shall
da,
say this
da,
only
da,
once.
da, da, da.
Yeah, I shall say this only once.
Only
Breakthrough.
once.
Yeah. The biggest secret of life. I'm gonna reveal it now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
In
Wait.
people
Roll, drum
wait. Pen
roll.
and papers, pen and
Pen and
papers.
paper. Pen and paper.
In order for you to get what you want, which is the money, the castle, the jet, the Gucci, the whatever, the yacht, the ideal husband, the perfect house, whatever it is you want. Why do you want it? You want it because it will make you feel more important, happier, more admirable, more successful. If you are after that, in order to manifest any of this, you have to feel like that first. When you want a jet or when you want 10 million, you have to feel like the person who deserves it, which is self-love, who's worth it, which is self-love, who's happy, which is self-love. I love myself enough to make myself happy, to be happy.
Right.
All of that is self-love. I love myself so much that I will not allow anyone to make me feel bad. I will think that I'm beautiful even when I gain 5 pounds. I will believe that I have a beautiful body. I have believed that I contribute to the society. I believe that people love me. And I am happy and confident and successful. And then you can manifest all those things. You cannot be miserable and think that you're ugly, fat, unattractive, no one likes you, everything bad happens only to you, and want to manifest happiness through things. It's never going to happen. It's against the laws of physics. That's the biggest secret of life. So if you want to manifest, if you want to get a great guy, you need to believe that you're worthy of one and that he is lucky that he breathes the same air as you.
I love that. You're lucky to be in the same environment as me, breathing the same air. But then what
Yeah.
about those people, like I say, like my client? She totally, or some of my clients, and it's not just one of them, but I'm just saying one, but that looks at themselves and they just rip themselves apart. They don't love themselves, but they have this wonderful, uh,
It
that's
could be, and it could be another belief. It could be a belief that men are really lovely, and they, because maybe her father was really nice,
yeah.
and she believes that men are really nice. So she manifested someone who's really nice, but she didn't get self-love because maybe her mother made her feel not good enough.
Well, and maybe that's the thing, right? Is that in that kind of scenario, imagine what the relationship would be like if all of a sudden she had that amazing self-love for herself, because then it would be like the cup would overflow.
And maybe she wouldn't want the guy she's with. Maybe she would be with someone completely different.
Right. And
You
that brings
need
us
to
on
love
to
yourself. That's the basis of everything. If you want to be loved, you need to love yourself first. Because why should any man love you when you don't love yourself? People are very good at spotting other people's weaknesses. People will be great at spotting that you don't on subconscious level, that you don't love yourself. And people take advantages of people who are weak
right.
on subconscious level. And if you believe that people treat you badly, they will treat you badly. They're obligated to show it to you, show it back to you.
Right, right.
All your beliefs are shown back to you through people and events. So change how you think, change what you believe about yourself, and your life will change. If you start believing that you're not overweight or morbidly overweight, and you start saying you're thin, you will become thin. The brain is responsible, and the brain is guaranteed to make it happen for you if you truly believe it on subconscious level.
But I guess all of that has to truly come when you truly love yourself. Because
You will only change and do the right things when you love yourself. Do you want
exactly.
to hear?
If you think about somebody, like if you go back to your childhood and think about times when you would have been bullied or somebody has been saying nasty things to you, you're not ever going to go back and be like real nice to them, are you? Because, and it's the same with our own self-talk. If we're giving ourselves the self-talk of negative and hatred, what are we attracting?
You're creating more negativity and hatred. So do you want to hear my personal favorite, what I thought of my personal definition of self-love?
Yeah, go.
Again,
Da, da,
people, pen
da.
and paper.
Ba, 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 ba.
Breakthrough coming, breakthrough coming. The holy grail of self-love is making the decisions that get you closer and closer to what you want. So self-love is when you're in Walmart and then there's carrots and there's cake. Self-love is, I know I want a cake, but because I want to lose weight and because I love myself, I will go and eat something healthy. I know I really, really, really want to have a romantic night, but going out with Bob, who I don't like that much, is not the solution to my loneliness. So I will say no because he's not the right guy. That's self-love.
Right.
I am determined to work on myself and change my life and become someone who's happy and who loves themselves. And self-love has nothing to do with my nails, my lipstick, and my hair and whatever I wear. So I'm working on it, and every day I get better and happier. And every day when I get better and happier, I'm attracting and creating better things in my life. That's self-love. Self-care is how do I do my hair, and what about the nails, and what am I wearing, and oh, I need teeth need straightening, and blah blah blah. That's self-care. Self-love is making the right decisions and being consistent and making little tiny step every day. Law of accumulation. Little steps accumulate and they give you the big result. Yeah. So this is self-love, making the right decisions.
I think making the right decisions and also rejecting the wrong ones as well, like saying I'm worth more than this, and I don't wish you to be part of my life. Like, or whatever.
There's someone I really adore. There's someone I really adore, and he's gorgeous. I know he has lots of women on side, but it doesn't matter because I just can't wait to have, at least a short relationship with him. So you're then gonna be heartbroken, you're gonna cry, your self-confidence is gonna drop, and you think that's a good idea. If you love yourself, you will never consider it. If you don't love yourself, you'll be in there instantly.
Well, it's a bit like those people, and I mean, this could be another subject for us to talk about, like that person that has the affair, like that's the other woman or the other man, right? Is that really a true respect of yourself?
You're being disrespectful to yourself. I mean, there's far more to it. That's another video.
Yeah, that is another video.
Because it's a different situation if two people are getting divorced, or if it's one says, well, she doesn't understand me, but I will never divorce. Then, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? Why are you hurting yourself? He already said no. So
Hmm.
why are you hanging around? That's not self-love and self-respect for that matter.
Right.
How do you want other people to respect you when you don't respect yourself? How do you want other people to love you when you don't love yourself?
Yeah. And I've had this experience with a number of my clients where they're in toxic relationships and caught in that uh, situation or scenario. And again, I feel like that could be, even be another, we could go on about that. But I think that respect for yourself, you can still be in a relationship, but still hold on to that self respect and self love for yourself.
Integrity and dignity are main. The laws of physics work. The laws of physics are easy. When when you have the purest ideas, when you have the purest beliefs, when you're honest, when you're authentic, you will get what you want in life. When you're trying to manipulate, and when you don't work on yourself, and when you don't do the things you need to do in order to get what you want, is there any wonder that people are failing? No,
Right.
there isn't. No,
Mhm.
there isn't. It's like you and I now. We're doing videos for people to enjoy and learn something new, but we're also doing it to get more viewers, so that more viewers get a benefit, and maybe they choose to follow us, and maybe they choose to work with us, etc., etc. But in order to do that, I had to go and do my hair. We had to dress nicely. We had to set up time. We had to make time. We had to make some sort of effort. If we don't, we're not gonna get what we want. It's that easy.
Yeah, I think I said this word before. It's the difference between a goal. Like, I know you don't necessarily like the goal word, but it's like the goal and the wish. It's like you have to make some effort, right? And it takes constant effort. And even going back to the thing about the carrots and the cake that you said, like, yeah, I'm choosing to go mainly for. And because I'm a big believer in nothing should be necessarily totally off the table. Everything should be in balance. Like, I don't want to have like this is a good food and this is a bad food. I don't like that. I think
Yeah.
that, unless you're allergic to something or your body retaliates.
If you love yourself, there is a way for you, and that's another one. We're gonna do weight loss. If you love yourself, you can eat anything you want in any reasonable quantity, and you will lose weight. But you have to love yourself to want to put yourself through the learning process and the application process.
Yeah. Well, because again that like why have you gained the weight in the first place? Are you eating
What are the
emotionally?
reasons?
Because
And
you're
it always
emotionally.
comes back to, well, because when I was 14, my mom told me, my mom also brought my brother and me after lunch and said, who wants cookie? And then when I raised hand, she said, you're too fat. You're too 14-year-old. Why did you ask, and who wants cookie? Why didn't you say, Peter, come here, you're having a cookie? Why did you ask who wants cookie? And when I raised it, so did you have fun putting me down? You know, and then no wonder people are fat, because it's very often installed in them.
I
by
always,
by
I
their
always
friends
say
and
this.
family.
Nobody needs to be told that they're overweight. Nobody needs to be told that they're fat.
They already know. Why are
There's no
you making
middle
it obvious?
ground.
They know it.
They know
They're
it.
not stupid.
They don't need to be told. What they do need is they need the compassion for somebody to hold space with them so that they can navigate how to find that self-love and self-nurturing. Because ultimately, in my mind, that really is so much of the basis to so many problems that we have
Or
is
you need a super
self-love.
parent who will say, okay, let's go for a run. I'll come with you.
Right.
Because I know that you don't want to run on your own.
Yeah. Well,
That is supportive. But telling your child that you're fat, that's not supportive. Helping them to change that is supportive.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And with exercise, it's also understanding what it is. Like some people use exercise as a way to not deal with things that they need to be dealing with. So they could exercise all day and they still won't achieve the goal, right?
Because they don't want to feel stressed out, they don't want to feel anxious, they don't want to feel any of that. So they go and exercise, but they don't understand they can do the brain work
Yes.
and stop all of that forever. The exercise will relieve 4 or 5 hours. And
Yeah.
then they're anxious again. It's not about the exercise. It's about how much you love yourself and how much you're willing to change how you think in order to be happy.
I mean, I've seen it with people that are like, oh, I need to go for a run. It just makes me, it just brings me back. Like it makes me feel much better. And it's like you're just running and I've generalized, you're escaping from what you really truly need to deal with.
You don't want to put the work in, or maybe you don't know how to put the work in, maybe you don't know what to do, but
Or,
it's still, however, if you love yourself, it's still your job to find out because
or,
the resources are endless.
or maybe your parent was a runner or like whatever. And that's like, you see that as that's the way to, control your weight or, show yourself self-love. And
Yeah,
you kind of like
but it
be,
doesn't always work, and it all comes down to when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're not happy. When you're not happy, you're doing something wrong. Let's once forever. When you're not happy, you're doing it wrong.
right.
And your job is to find out what you're doing wrong and how you can change it.
Yes, because I
And
think that the thing to remember as well is you can't always be happy, right? Things happen, right? But it's being comfortable enough to
people
necessarily,
say that all the time. People say that, and I do not believe it.
you don't
From my
believe it.
personal experience,
So,
you
you know,
can.
say for instance your pet died. Like, I mean, you're going to be sad. Like I've got little,
Okay,
can't
yeah,
see it.
yeah, yeah. But we're talking extremes now. We're
Okay,
talking,
all right.
it's going to happen a couple of times in your lifetime. So,
Okay, all
let's
right.
put it in perspective.
All right,
Yeah.
but we're talking
Um,
about two different things then, because I'm like, yeah, there are moments in our life where we're not always going to be happy, but I agree that it is a choice. You can
it
choose
is a
to show
choice.
up.
It is a choice how, if you love yourself, you will not let something and someone make you feel bad.
Mhm.
If you love yourself, you will simply not allow that.
Right.
And your job is to learn how to manage that, how to get there. Of course, someone dying, there's all sorts of reactions. Someone is distraught for 40 years, and someone can deal with it within a couple of days. You don't want to be distraught for 40 years because that's ridiculous. That's not okay.
Right.
So again, the more you're healed and the more you love yourself, the less you will let that affect it. So if someone dies, you can do two things: cry, be distraught, be dysfunctional, lose weight, have anxiety, not sleep, or you can say, I'm so lucky I got to spend time with them. I'm so lucky. And they wouldn't want me to be sad. I just remember all the wonderful times and they make me feel warm and happy.
Right. And to
That's
be
what you
honest,
will do if you love yourself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like you say, that they wouldn't want you to be that way either, right? So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, don't have any reaction when someone close to you dies. I mean, that would be
Yeah, yeah,
almost weird. That's wrong as well. But it's up to you to make that reaction as pleasant as humanly possible,
right.
as kind or loving as humanly possible, instead of being the victim who moans for 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your choice. Every second of your life is your choice. And this is what I mean by self-love. It's about what decisions you make. There's only two decisions you can make in the whole world. The one which makes you thin, wrinkleless, happy, supported, abundant, and live till 120, or the one which you're 70 and you need simmer frame, and you have wrinkles and you have gray short hair and you're miserable and you didn't enjoy your life and you didn't accomplish what you wanted and you don't have money. And every second, every decision you make gets you either here or here. And self-love is about getting here.
Mm-hmm.
Through food, through drinks, through thoughts, through health, through relationships, through money, through jobs, through houses, through everything. Every time you make a decision, it needs to be the one which gets you here. That's
Yeah.
called self-love.
Yeah. So I mean, my thing would be is just surround yourself with love, right?
Surround yourself with love. Love yourself first. Love yourself first, and everything else will fall in place.
Yeah.
But there is no happiness and success without loving yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry. But
Yeah.
then you can fix that through us because
Well,
we
and
know how
and
to.
and
So
I have this on my wall at my studio, and it's like one of the things as well. You can't out exercise a bad diet, right? So again, that's about self-love because quite often people use exercise and food as a well. Let's talk about exercise. They use exercise as a way to punish themselves for something that they ate, right? So that no good will come of that when you're using exercise like that. So um,
when it comes to food, it's easy. Whatever I eat makes me lose weight and makes me healthy. That's what you do when you love yourself. Even if it's 2 cakes, I don't care. If you have this mindset, do you know the people who eat 10 kilos seemingly and they don't gain weight, they're thin?
I know. We probably
This
all
is
know.
their thinking.
We all know somebody like that. We watch them. They go
And we
out.
all
They order
collectively hate them. But
French fries. They order cake, and they're skinny. And you're like, what happened? Like,
because they love themselves and they say food is my friend
food
and
is my
friends don't
friend.
hurt me.
Hmm.
Food is my friend and I can eat whatever and I'll still lose weight.
Hmm.
And this was there was this series Hot in Cleveland, which women in their 50s and 60s, and there were four of them, and one of them said, "Yeah, I always suffered. No matter how much cheese I eat, I won't put on weight. No matter how much chocolate I eat, I won't put on weight." And the three of them, the other three women, either gave her a finger or threw something at her.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're such a victim. Yeah, life's horrible. We're starving ourselves to look like that, and you horrible so and so.
right, right. Yeah, and I think one of the things to go away from this as we finish is to think about, just take a moment. I encourage you all just to take a moment to just assess where you are in this journey of, am I truly showing up, loving myself? Am I doing things that are here to love myself, or am I doing things to punish myself? Or am I hanging out or doing things that don't bring love into my life?
Okay,
Um,
I will have an exercise. Can I throw an exercise here?
yes, I love exercise.
Oh, no, mental exercise, woman.
I thought she was going to get up and do jumping jacks or something.
Yeah, because that's going to happen. Yeah, totally. Okay, so exercise for everyone, pen and paper, and write down what you love about yourself.
And
Most my clients, when they come and enter working with me, 5 to 12 things max.
okay,
When you get to the point when you're 75 and over, then we can talk about self-love. Anything below that, no, sorry.
so that's the goal, 75 things that you love about yourself. And then the next part of
You're
that
on your
challenge,
way.
the next part of that challenge is actually to look at yourself in the mirror and actually tell them to yourself, right? Write them down first and then actually go
Without throwing up. When you want to
without
throw
throwing
up,
up,
you don't love
without like,
yourself. Okay.
you know, having a bucket handy or sticking your fingers like, yeah, no, real
Yeah.
true. Looking
I
in the
love
mirror with
myself. Say it
love
in a
and
mirror.
saying, oh my
And when
gosh, your hair, Sarah, is great.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah. So say that in a mirror. Say that in a mirror. And when you no longer want to vomit, when you actually, I actually do love myself.
I
When
do.
you say it with a smile and you 100% believe it, you loved yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
How wonderful is that?
And don't be embarrassed if somebody catches yourself saying all these wonderful things to yourself in the mirror, because that's another thing, you know, like it's almost frowned upon to actually do something like that and look, oh, look, I look great. Like, you know, so don't be
Yeah.
swayed by other
It's,
people's
yeah.
insecurities about what you might be doing in front of the mirror.
Anyone who's scaring you or discouraging you has toxic influence on you and you don't care about them.
Right.
Only care about opinions of people who are positive, who accomplish something and who have something to contribute and who make you feel good. Those people you can value their opinion. Anyone else, sorry, go away.
Right. Right.
Go away. Yeah. There's this famous saying about um, in order to uh, respect your opinion, I would first have to respect you.
Right. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite sayings.
Yeah. Well, it's
You-
like any of us, like for us in what we do, nobody's going to come work with us if they don't respect us, right? And
Exactly, exactly.
yeah,
So respect, self-love, self-care, okay. Self-respect, self-love, self-respect.
yeah,
Awesome. If you can get that, the world's your oyster. Then we can talk about how to get a 10 million, how to get this, how to get that.
mhm,
Because when you love yourself, you will do what you have to do, and you will also believe you deserve it. You
right,
can never manifest something you don't truly believe you deserve. End of.
right, right, right.
As easy as. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
love it. I love it. I love it. I love you. I love everybody. And self-love is the name of the day. Self-love with that self-care aspect and that self-respect. Loving all of you. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
bye.